In this video let's talk about the types of information system. In the previous video we discussed that what information system is. You can check the link of that video in the description. Just to revise, we discussed that the information system is a system that is developed to collect, process, store and distribute information. In simple terms we can say that it is a system that is used to collect the raw data, and process it into useful information. Let's start with the topic of the day, the types of information system. There are different types of the information system based on their functionality and the scope of their implementation. For example, transaction processing system, knowledge work system, management information system, decision support system, executive support system and the expert system. In this video we are going to talk about the transaction processing system in detail. We will study about the other types of the information system in the upcoming videos. So let's talk about the transaction processing system, the TPS. It is also known as the transaction processing or the real-time processing. This transaction processing system is required at the operational level. By operational level we mean that the processing of the organization's daily activities. An organization day-to-day activities are sales orders, purchase orders, payrolls and the stock records. It will keep track of all the day-to-day activities of the organization. It is basically responsible for providing raw data, and on behalf of that raw data management can take important decisions. Because somehow while taking the decisions the management is concerned with daily sales purchases and the profit or loss. This transaction processing system helps to accumulate these reports. New processes are adopted on the basis of the past experience. By examining the performance of the processes, resources are allocated. In this information system the processed information should be available on spot. There should be no delay in the processing of the information and the availability of the processed information, and that information should be consistent. There should be no ambiguity in the processed output. The characteristics or the features of a good transaction processing system are performance, reliability, consistency, rapid response, inflexibility, and the controlled processing. Let's talk about the characteristics in detail. Rapid response. An organization can't afford to have their customers waiting for hours just to make a single transaction. So the response time really matter while taking about a good transaction processing system. Next is inflexibility. Any transaction processing system must work the same way as long as it is being used. The interaction, the formality and the structure of the TPS should never change, as it will irritate the customers using it. Next and the most important aspect is the reliability of the TPS. An organization can't afford to have an unreliable TPS, because in the worst case if the TPS fails or break down the whole data will be lost. So an organization can't even imagine to have an unreliable transaction processing system. Next is the controlled processing. A good TPS must be able to allow its authorized customers to access and use it at any time and as they are intended and allowed. To achieve all the feature we discussed, the data that is being collected must readily accessible in a database or the data warehouse. Backup and the recovery procedures must be in place to fulfill the any requirement, and specially to deal with the any type of failure, and that failure can be the system failure, human failure, or any kind of natural disaster. Examples of the TPS can be online ticket reservation system, sales order entry system, payroll system.